What inspires you, designer? Where do you draw your inspirations from while you're building your project? I'd like to encourage you to think about your social studies class, whether that's working on history or culture, as a great source of inspiration. Some people are really inspired by architecture, and that creates all kinds of motifs in their mind, or maybe ideas for how to approach things from different architecture around the world. Or maybe it's the plans of the architecture that are really inspiring to them. Or maybe while they study the plans for the architecture, they get inspirations for how to solve problems that haven't been solved before, or maybe haven't been solved that way for a long time. Other people are inspired by the details of things from culture. This is a World War II ship, and the details of how it was put together could be very inspiring for certain projects. Or thinking about setting up parts in relationship to each other, or perhaps things that involve carrying human beings around, or lots of other ways. What's inspiring to you when you think about your projects? Maybe you're inspired by the textiles, the fabrics that you see on the people around you. All of these different fabrics come from different countries around Africa, and they all have a meaning. They all have a history behind why they exist, what people talk about, how they call them in different countries. Some of them have different names. There's all kinds of inspirations walking around us, sitting around us, sitting in libraries, existing in all the cultures that we are immersed in all of the time. Maybe you're inspired by the inventions that have happened in previous countries around the world. You can go into the patent archives in the United States and other countries and see ideas that people used to have and have had. And many times you can get all of the details for these because these patent filings are public. You can pull them up and look at what they did and how they imagined it might work, and get inspired for all kinds of other new, interesting inventions or solutions for problems of today's living. Or maybe you're inspired by art, whether that's art on large institutions and public spaces, or whether that's written form art like calligraphy, or whether that's classical painted art, or whether it's the form of tiles, interior design art. Maybe that's what inspires a particular approach for a project that you're looking at. As you move through the culture, whether that's in a class or on a tour, on a vacation, in a book or a website that you found that just intrigues you, take note of those things that are inspiring. Capture those for your design morgue. Keep those inspirations because culture can be so very inspiring.